What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy AyeThatsAaron. We're back again with another Jujutsu Kaisen Courage Clash video, and today we're going to be talking about the new official scans that explain my boy Yuta and Geto when talking about their playstyles and their abilities. And so I'm very excited to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. So enough of me yapping, we're going to get straight into this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, please just let your boy Aaron know. Without further ado, let's get in the video, shall we? So ladies and gentlemen, the other day we got the official scan thanks to Shonen Games, where it shows my boy Yuta and it shows Geto, and it literally explains a little bit more of how they're going to work, and we get to see some more illustrations on how their abilities are going to work. And it looks like we get glimpses of their ultimate attacks, alright? So the first character we're going to be talking about is my boy Geto. So I'm going to put the translations up on screen, and I'm going to read you guys what Shonen Games translated. So it says, for Geto, in addition to mid-range attacks using cursed spirits, he can also fight at close range with melee attacks, and he is an all-arounder that can wipe out large areas depending on the cursed spirit used. Now, if you guys remember in one of my previous videos, I put up some screenshots up on screen, and I'm just gonna put up some more too, just so for you guys can see, where we were able to see some of the cursed spirits that Geto was summoning when basically what Geto summons in the game, right? So the first cursed spirit was the cursed spirit where it was the it was like that weird big nose spirit that was going against Inumaki and Yuta, who was calling down beams and stuff like that. So that's one of the cursed spirits that he could summon. The other cursed spirits that we were able to see him summon in the scan was basically the little bugs that he shot off at Yuta, and Yuta used the cursed microphone to, you know, eradicate them in JJK0. And so that looks like another ability that he's gonna use, and that's basically it when it comes to the curses that he has. Now the only thing about the scans, correction, not scans, the screenshots, is that we did not really get a chance to see his up close combat. My best guess is that whenever it comes to up close hand-to-hand combat, he's gonna use that weapon that he used against Yuta, which was very similar to the same weapon that Toji was using in season 2 of the premature death arc. So I think that's what they're talking about when they're saying that he's going to be up close character, because it makes no sense for them to just keep giving this man cursed spirits but not have anything for him to use to fight. Basically, it wouldn't really make that much sense, because he would just be useless up close, and kind of essentially make the character useless if you can't fight up close, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what they're talking about. And now with the cursed spirits, I think they're all going to have their own abilities and gimmicks. You know, I think we're going to have a mid to long range, like it's going to basically be a variety of mid to long range stuff. So I guess it just depends on the cursed spirit. Like the cursed spirit that fight Inumaki, I feel like that will be more of a long range kind of spirit, because that spirit was shooting out the big beams and stuff like it was nothing. And then I can see like the little bugs being more mid range, you know what I'm saying? And then like how I said, with the close range, it will probably just be him throwing the hands with probably the weapon that he used, or it could just be straight hand-to-hand combat, because my boy Geto really, you know, he be throwing the hands, you know what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, if we look at the screenshot, we get to see a glimpse of what my boy's ultimate is going to be, and as you guys can see, it is the Uzumaki. Now, I don't want to spoil anything from season 2, so if you guys have not caught up and watched season 2, because I know at the time of this recording, it's not in dub, so I'm going to give you guys 3 seconds to, you know, mute it or whatever, and then I'll tell you when to come back. So 3, 2, 1. Basically in season 2, how they explained that the Uzumaki is basically channeling the power of the cursed spirit into a powerful attack. But normally for Geto, since he has the ability to manipulate and capture cursed spirits, using the Uzumaki is kind of useless. So I think for in this game, they were like, you know what, we're gonna give him the Uzumaki. So that looks like what his ultimate is gonna be, the Uzumaki. Now I'm not 100% sure if this is gonna be a cinematic, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is more like a projectile, like Gojo's Hollow Purple. I think it will be very symbolic, and I think it would make sense for them to do that for the character if it was, you know, like basically a projectile kind of orb just like that. So yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised about that. But yes, so far we've seen a glimpse of 2 of my boy's abilities, and then a little peek of his ultimate attack, which is the Uzumaki. So Geto's looking pretty good, honestly. So far I'm really messing with the character, and I'm excited to play him, and I wonder if they're going to ever do anything different with him in the future. Like, I wonder if they're going to progress him past JJK0 and probably have the season 2 version of him with probably more cursed spirits and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that, because typically when it comes to anime games, if it's a main character, there's a whole different arsenal moveset. They typically do that kind of stuff. So for the next character, we have my boy Yuta, and I'm gonna put the screenshot up on screen of the scan as I read what my boy showed in games translated. So it says, Yuta, when he or an ally takes a certain amount of damage or is down, the cursed spirit Rika gains power and her cursed energy level reaches its peak. Use excessive power and cooperate with Rika to subdue your opponent. So if you guys remember in my previous video when I talked about Yuta, basically that was a condition for Rika to come out. Rika just doesn't automatically come out at the beginning of the game. There has to be a health criteria for her to come out and basically, you know, help you with combos and do some more damage, as basically, I would just say, Yuta stand. Like, you know, like how in JoJo they have stands. That's how I would describe it, because that's just me. Because if we look at one of the screenshots of Yuta and it looks like his intro, you see Yuta like basically spawning in and he's holding his sword, and you see him by himself. You don't see Rika out there with him, and so that's why I said it makes sense that it's going to be like a health condition kind of thing that needs to be met before Rika pops out. So I noticed it says whenever he or an ally takes a certain amount of damage or is down, the cursed spirit Rika gains power and her cursed energy level reaches its peak. Now, my question about that is, does that mean that Yuta's cursed energy is already going to be to its max whenever Rika appears? How does that work? Because I feel like we need a gameplay trailer to understand. Because if one person dies and Yuta summons Rika, does that mean that he's already at curse level 3? You see what I'm saying? Because that would just make the character super broken. So I'm not 100% sure if it's like maybe 2 deaths need to happen, maybe a certain amount of health needs to happen. I'm not saying that Rika should not appear on the battlefield, not saying that. Like, I feel like there should be stages to it. Like, there should be one stage where Rika comes out, helps you with combos, and you get to use some special abilities. And I feel like in the later half of the game, that's when your abilities really start popping off. It's kind of sort of how Nanami has it, where like basically once the game is close to its end, that's when Nanami started getting the cursed energy and basically reaches his peak of cursed energy. So I'm not 100% sure how Rika's going to work, but she sounds pretty powerful already, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go hard in the paint when it comes to my boy Yuta. So the fact that she comes out whenever Yuta takes damage or an enemy is downed is going to be insane. And I guess my next question is, if Yuta dies, will Rika be there whenever he respawns, or is she going to be gone after he dies and he has to reach a criteria again? I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to play out with that. And if we look at the scan, we get to see some in-game screenshots. So I'm starting to think now that the image where it has Rika behind Yuta, I think that is Rika being summoned on the map. I think that the white lines around Yuta are the invincibility frames, and Rika is being summoned into the map as more of like an animation than a special attack or intro. So that would make a lot of sense for that to be just a animation of her being summoned. Next, it looks like we get a glimpse of Yuta's ultimate attack. You guys can see Rika sitting there charging that beautiful attack up, and Yuta sitting there looking so clean. And if you guys remember, that was the ability that he used in Jujutsu Kaisen towards the end of the movie where he was fighting against Geto. And honestly, bro, that junk looks beautiful. I can't wait to see that in action, bro. Oh my gosh, Yuta is going to be a sick character. I really do think Yuta, based off of how they're describing Yuta, he sounds like he's going to be a very top tier character already. The fact that my boy sits there and has his cursed energy rise when Rika comes out, and Rika's going to basically help you be a powerhouse, he already sounds kind of deadly to me. But maybe it's just I need to see this in action versus how the scans are reading it, because it makes it sound like Rika's going to pop out regardless, right? And there's nothing wrong with Rika popping out regardless. I'm just saying that if Rika pops out regardless and then the cursed energy rises to the point where she's crazy OP, then it's just like, wow, like this man is a top tier character already. My second theory is maybe there's 2 levels of cursed energy. Maybe Yuta has his own cursed energy, and maybe Rika comes out and she has her own cursed energy, and maybe she could be able to do specific abilities based off the cursed energy that she has, while Yuta still has his cursed energy. Like, for example, it's kind of like how we had that gameplay of Iso and his brother, and basically when Iso was making his brother do commands, it was using half a meter, and his brother was shooting out like the poison and stuff like that, doing attacks and stuff like that. Maybe it'll be more like that, but instead Rika will have her own cursed energy bar where she'll be able to go crazy and do that kind of damage. I see it being more of like a Tokoyami situation. If you guys have never played My Hero Once Justice 2, basically how Tokoyami and Dark Shadow worked was Dark Shadow kind of hung on to Tokoyami. So as you're doing combos with Tokoyami, Dark Shadow was there. Now Tokoyami did good, had decent combos, but a majority of his combos came in unison with Dark Shadow. So I wonder how it's gonna work in this game. I don't want Yuta to primarily rely on Rika. I kind of want it to be like Yuta got his own combos, his own abilities, stuff like that, and Rika is just the buff. You see what I'm saying? But you know, enough of me yapping. That's my theory, at least on what I think it's gonna be. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Are you guys happy with this skins? Let me know you guys' thoughts on how Rika is gonna play, because I'm very interested to see what you guys got to say about it, and I want to hear you guys' theories. Hopefully we'll be able to get some gameplay soon. The game comes out February 1st, and we have almost a month left until the game drops, so we should be getting some gameplay soon. So let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you guys enjoy this kind of content, please just let your boy Aaron know. And until next time, peace out.